One of the joys of walking across London is to look at the endless parade of contrasting wonders. One moment, I am in a district of bustling activity, full of colour, crowd and vitality. In the very next moment, I am led into a scene of restful solitude, where it is difficult to believe that I am in the centre of such a boisterous metropolis. In a city which is renowned for its chaotic noise and rush, I'm intrigued that London has more green spaces than any other major cities in the entire world. Talking of green spaces, I have always been fascinated by the royal parks of London, where people can escape from their intensity of their busy day and lose themselves completely, such as Kensington Gardens, my favorite park in London, where the mind has room to breathe and to wander freely. One such dreamer who knew this place intimately was the Scottish writer J.M Barrie. It was Kensington Garden which provided him with the inspiration to create one of the most enduring characters in English literature, Peter Pan. Although Barrie died several years ago in 1937, the appeal of Peter Pan seems as ageless as the boy himself. Disney may hold the keys to the enduring animated classic, but it is London which is actually the true home of Peter Pan and his magical world. The story of Peter Pan is about a boy who can fly and his adventures in the Neverland with his friends. It is a celebration of childhood where Barrie portrays how much we have lost by just growing up. The author lived near Kensington Garden and used this park as the inspiration for his Peter Pan tales. Peter Pan was introduced in J.M Barrie's 1902 novel, The Little White Bird, which was largely a book for adults but also contains episodes of a boy who has magical episodes in Kensington Garden. The park then became the setting for his next book, which was Peter Pan in Kensington Garden, which was released in 1906. In both the books, Peter was a 7-day-old infant who escaped from his nursery to Kensington Garden, where fairies and birds taught him how to fly. If you read the first book written by J.M Barrie carefully, you will find that Peter Pan flies out of his nursery and lands beside the Longswater in Kensington Garden. On the exact same spot today, we have the statue of Peter Pan. It was in fact placed in this garden by the author himself in the middle of the night so that children would think that, as if it has appeared by magic next morning. Another reason why J.M Barrie chose this location for the statue is because he used to sit and write at this very spot in the park. The Peter Pan statue was erected in 1912, features squirrels, mice, fairies climbing up to Peter, who stands at the top of a bronze statue. You will also find a QR code sign hanging on the gate in front of the Peter Pan statue. When you will scan this code with the help of your mobile phone, you will be taken to a website where you will find Peter Pan speaking. According to the site, this statue is a part of a project that was done to animate such 35 statues in London and Manchester in 1 year. And as you sit down and listen to Peter Pan, you cannot help but admire the innocent, unquestioning faith of a child as he says these simple words. So come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of happy things and your heart will fly on wings forever in the Never Land. It was in Kensington Gardens that Barrie met the 5 brothers who inspired him to write Peter Pan. In 1897, he befriended George, Michael, and baby Peter Davis, who were out on a walk with their nanny in this garden. It is no coincidence that Peter, George, and Michael are the names of the key characters in the books as well. These boys that he met in the Kensington Garden inspired J.M Barrie to create a world full of fantasy and flight. Not just the Peter Pan statue, but there are several other stops that you can make in the Kensington Garden. Just past the statue, there's a body of water which is known as Long Water, where ducks happily paddle by and benches provide perfect place to sit and write. We also have the famous Italian garden, a 150-year-old ornamental garden dedicated to Queen Victoria as a token of love from King Albert. It is a gorgeous sight with fountains, white stone statues adorned by water lilies. There is also something called the Two Bears Fountain, which is located in the Kensington Garden. It is one of the cutest monuments in London. Apart from a pleasing look, the fountain provides source of drinking water for anyone visiting this part of the park. As you get outside the Kensington Garden, you can walk up to Bayswater Road, which is just opposite to the garden. And there you will find house number 100. J.M. Barrie lived for 7 years in this house with his wife Mary. And it was here that he wrote the story of Peter Pan. You'll find a blue plaque right at this house where the Barrie residence once stood. Just a couple of blocks away from his house, you will find the great Ormond Street Hospital, which I have also discussed in my Bloomsbury tour vlog. Now in that vlog, I spoke about how this hospital is connected to Mr. Charles Dickens. If you remember that connection, then comment below right now. And if not, then go and watch out the Bloomsbury vlog video where I have introduced you to the houses of Virginia Woolf, Charles Dickens and G.B. Shaw. Coming back to the great Ormond Street Hospital, it was the first children's hospital in the English-speaking world, being founded in the year 1852. J.M. Barrie gifted all the rights of Peter Pan to this hospital. And even today, this hospital receives funds whenever a Peter Pan book is sold anywhere in the world. London is the birthplace of many fairy tales, but Peter Pan is one of the most beloved amongst all of them. Kensington Garden was a huge inspiration for J.M. Barrie, whose tale has been immortalised in the hearts of millions by Disney. In Peter Pan, Barrie has perfectly captured the joyful spirit of a child's mindset and his natural willingness to believe in magic. Frustratingly, this magical feeling soon evaporates as we return to the rigid predictability of normal life. It is a world that Peter Pan was determined to never enter, a dull, unimaginative place where one is forced to work, strive, and be responsible. This is why Peter hates adults and is determined to remain in this innocent space of Neverland, where he can play in the blissful freedom forever. And that's why he says, just think of happy thoughts and you will fly. I hope, just like Peter Pan, we all discover our own Garden of Eden one day. With a hope to meet you in the Neverland, the land of Peter Pan, I would like to take your leave. That's it from my side for this lecture. I'll meet you very soon in my next vlog. Till the time I meet you next, happy learning, keep loving literature and stay tuned to arpitakarwa.com.